When we last left Emily Cooper, it seemed things might finally be settled for her in her romantic life with Gabriel, her personal relationship with Camille, and her professional life with Sylvie. But, as any fan of the popular Netflix series Emily in Paris knows, things are never set in stone for the titular character, as she always finds a way to erase the playbook every time it's been finalized. Season 4, which has been released in 2 parts by the streamer, had a strong start, with each of the series' characters moving forward in every aspect of their lives, seemingly reaching many of their long-awaited goals. However, Part 2 seems to have suffered a bit of memory loss, forgetting the motivations and advancements that were made in Part 1, a disappointment for those who were excited to see their favorites moving in the right direction. Created by Sex and the City's Darren Star, Emily in Paris follows a young woman named Emily, who moves to Paris for a marketing job. Emily lives with her best friend, Mindy, an aspiring singer, and has an on-again, off-again relationship with handsome chef Gabriel. Throughout the series' 4 seasons, Emily has continually proven herself as an employee to her accomplished boss, Sylvie, but never seems to be able to stay out of trouble when it comes to friendships and love. The end of Season 4 Part 1 saw Emily finally on solid ground with Gabriel, whose ex-girlfriend Camille had just learned that the baby she thought she was having with Gabriel was actually a false positive. Mindy was getting ready to perform at Eurovision while balancing an image-conscious boyfriend, afraid of his family's impression of her. While Emily in Paris continues to be the vibrant, fashionable world any rom-com fan would want to be a part of, Part 2 of Season 4 has few grounding presences within. Things are finally looking up for Emily Cooper, and Emily in Paris Season 4 Part 2, as a new love interest, has swept her off her feet so much so that she has taken a life-changing decision at the end of the season. From the start of Part 2, we saw how Emily and Gabriel's romance went kaput, with Emily electing to leave for Rome. Lucky for Emily, she finds herself in the company of attractive hunk Marcelo, and the two begin to spend time together. However, they say every good thing has an end, and this is Emily's life, shrouded with challenges, and so does happen in the finale of Emily in Paris Season 4 Part 2, when she has to make a show-altering decision, which will make you wonder about the future of Emily and how it will impact others. After landing in Rome, Emily forms a relationship with Marcelo, who gives her a tour of the city while also discussing his family's heritage in the town. He recounts about how his father made the company to give it back to his community. Later, at Marcelo's family home, things rapidly become heated as Emily cautions him about selling his firm to JVNA. Feeling misled, assuming that Emily was there for business, Marcelo sends Emily out, but his mother overhears their exchange. Emily comes to her hotel room and encounters Mindy Chen, who admits her sorrow about the Eurovision issue. Turns out that Mindy has been pulled off the tour. Nicolas Deloun featured Benoit's song in an ad, which also resulted in their breakup. At this point, Emily encourages her closest friend to finish her song, which she performs on the street. In the morning, Marcelo agrees to meet with agents Grotto, for which Emily lies that they have an office in Rome. Then Emily lets Sylvie know about it, and working on her toes, she hurries off and chooses to have an office place. In the following scene, Minnie wakes up to the pleasant news that her song has gone viral, earning her a judging invitation on Chinese pop star. Sylvie utilizes an office space from an old designer buddy for a front for the Rome office, and then calls in Luke and Julian as well. With the old team reassembled, the business presentation begins, which is everything but great, as Antonia Muratori makes it clear that she is aware that the office is a sham. But still they get a 6-month agreement. Emily once again impresses her. Marcelo, however, informs Emily that in the end she was there for the business and departs. Back in Paris, Genevieve delivers the great news to Gabriel about him earning the Michelin star, who then asked about Emily, to which she explains that his ex-girlfriend is in Rome. Genevieve then kisses him and suggests they should celebrate the news later. To celebrate their deal, Sylvie throws a party, but Emily is still scared that she made the wrong mistake of combining business with her personal life, expresses her fears to Slavy that she damaged things with Marcelo for real this time. Marcelo arrives, prompting Emily to leave and meet him. Meanwhile, Slavy receives a message from Laurent, and at the same moment runs into a friend with whom she also spends the night, making it obvious that things would be hard for Sylvie and Laurent in the upcoming season. Marcelo confronts Emily, revealing that his mother told him about Emily's request not to work on the account. Emily explains that she didn't want to work with him, but wanted to be with him. They share a passionate kiss and quickly reconcile. Meanwhile, Gabriel is celebrating his win when Alfie and Antoine Lambert show up too, but our man is not in the most celebratory of moods as he tells them that he is missing Emily and she should be there. While Genevieve continues to make advances, Gabriel takes her aside and makes it clear that things turned crazy the other night, but he feels nothing for her. Later he calls Emily to inform her about the star, but has to leave a message expressing his thanks. Emily gets Gabriel's message and shares the joyful news with Sylvie, Luc, and Julien. Sylvie also has something to offer, as she announces that Agence Gratteau is establishing an office in Rome. Julien and Luc propose their names, to which Sylvie proposes herself as well, but reveals that Antonia has asked Emily to run their Rome account. After consenting to stay, Emily contacts Mindy, who is thrilled for her bestie, and later shares the news with Gabriel, Alfie, and Antoine, teasing the idea of opening a restaurant in Rome, while emphasizing that Paris will not be as before without Emily. Sensing Gabriel's tension, Alfie encourages him to act on his affections, claiming that Emily is only with Marcelo because she's not with him. Gabriel hurries off and calls Emily, who had left him a voicemail congratulating him for his success. Later, Emily takes in her new Rome house, and the view is stunningly beautiful. She snaps a photo with the view as she is going to change her username, Emily in Paris, to Emily in Rome. A knock on the door occurs where we assume it's Gabriel at her doorstep. But it's Marcelo who had come to take her for a trip across the city. Meanwhile, Gabriel asks Mindy where does Emily live in Rome, ending the season on a cliffhanger.